It's finally time to introduce our hotly anticipated new colours. We are so excited about them and hope that you will be too. Who better to introduce them than our international colour consultant, Joa Studham.
As usual, we have looked at gaps, sales and trends in equal measure. But not only that, we're trying to find colours which will sit seamlessly in the Farrow Ball palette as well as sell well. Trends are telling us at the moment that we love our homes more and more. We want to use them as sanctuaries to get away from the sort of flat-screened existence. So these are colours that lift the spirits. They feel optimistic in the home, but they also feel sort of humble and nurturing, and they're very much going back to our Farrow Ball roots. Here we have Chromity. This pretty, easy-to-use colour feels as if it's been on the Farrow Ball card forever. It will create the softest of rooms. It's really just a lighter version of Mizzle, as you see here, and so will fit perfectly also with blue-grey and with pigeon. What's great is that it also works with light blue, and that fills a gap, because for the people who want to keep things a little bit softer and lighter, but don't want to stray into the cleaner skylight, this is the colour to use. I think it's going to be big in kitchens. I love it particularly with Shadow White, as you see here. It's set to become a Farrow Ball classic. This is Shadow White, a neutral to fill the last gap in our much loved whites. Basically, it's a lighter version of shaded white, as you see here. Much in the same way as we made Ammonite a lighter version of Cornforth White, these two sit perfectly together. And what's important, of course, is that it has none of the perceived yellowness of the traditional neutrals or the greyness here, as you see, of the easy neutrals. So it's a brilliant colour for people who feel that this grey mania is a bit of a fad, but are also a little wary of using very creamy tones. It's fantastically understated and it will work in any style of home. This is Yeybridge Green. Green has become incredibly popular in interiors at the moment, with pot plants, exotic florals and jungle fabrics absolutely everywhere. Farrow Ball's greens are extremely comprehensive, going from softness of Tunsgate green, as you see here, to the strength of Studio green. But we've never really had anything which is sort of lush and verdant as this colour. I think it will appeal very much to the existing historic Farrow Ball user, as well as those who are looking for a cleaner, more contemporary tone. It's really a stronger version of the ever-popular cooking apple green, but perhaps with a little bit more sophistication. It is, however, our cleanest, freshest and most uncomplicated green. This is Worsted, the last of our gap fillers, and one which has been constantly requested. The easy greys are still selling like crazy, but there is quite a big gap between Purbeck Stone and Mole's Breath. So Worsted fills that gap, much in the same way as Cord or Dovetail do with the other neutral groups. So Worsted is the perfect darker accent for all the easy neutrals. Here you can see it with Wevitt, with Strong White, with Cornforth White. But it's also a fantastic colour in its own right, a wall colour, because it's a perfect neutral for sort of popping clean colours. Now we have Vardo, a colour full of guts. It can't fail to make you smile. It's just sort of so uplifting. And it's a colour that has been requested a lot by customers over the last 5 years. And really what it is a tweak on Mere Green, the archived colour, but we've made it a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, so that it appeals more to the modern market. I think that it's incredibly elegant when combined with Pavilion Grey, as you see here, and then it becomes super sexy when you put it with Downpipe. It's a colour full of life and joy, perfect to be used as an accent, or if you're a little bit braver, throughout a whole room. This is Peignoir, a colour that looks so traditional, but in fact is right on trend. It will create a really sort of humble, blushing interior because it's the softest of pinks, but in typical Farrow Ball way, we've added a great big dose of grey to it. Obviously feels really, really romantic, So it's a very obvious bedroom choice, but I think in the modern home it will definitely be used in living areas as well. It works fantastically well with the contemporary neutrals like skimming stone and elephant's breath, as you see here, and is an obvious choice to work with the much stronger brinjal or indeed with brassica. I think it's a colour which we'll all be craving. We love this softness at the moment. This is drop cloth. It's now a darker version of shaded white. So when we put it together here with shadow white as well, we've got this fantastically versatile group of neutrals which all work together in any combination. There's not an enormous amount to say about drop cloth, except that it is on the same level as old white, Oxford stone and elephant's breath, as you can see here. And those are all great sellers. So I think that this is going to be a very, very popular colour. And now for Enchara Blue, a really moody dark. In typical Farrow Ball way, it's kind of difficult to put in a box. Is it blue? Is it grey? Is it green? Well, all of the above really. But what I know is that it's the perfect colour for all those thousands of people who want to go over to the dark side in their decorating. We had Stooky Blue and Mole's Breath as alternatives to Downpipe, but I think Enchara Blue is the colour for 2015. It's a Georgian-inspired colour with great sophistication and immense depth to it. But I think it will feel just as at home in a super contemporary interior as it would on traditional exteriors. Who could resist this gorgeous, gorgeous colour? Lastly, we have Salon Drab, a colour that has been much requested both by showrooms and by customers. So it's much less red than London Clay or Mahogany, as you see here, but obviously less green and much cleaner than Mouse's Back. Fantastically, it works perfectly as the accent to both the red-based neutrals, here with Oxford Stone, or indeed the yellow-based neutrals, here with String. And I think its richness is so appealing. Like Enchara Blue, it feels almost as if it's been just plucked out of a Georgian cottage. So we'll create rooms which have amazing mid-19th century authenticity, as well as being the perfect chocolate which every modern home needs. We didn't set out to create a group of colours that sat so perfectly together. Each colour was worked on totally individually. So you can imagine the joy when we saw this perfect sympathetic group, which feel like they're natural additions to the Farrow Ball palette. I hope you like them as much as we do.